readers, this year, one of the hottest books was The Frozen River by Ariel Lawhon. And yes, I looked up how to pronounce her last name because I was very confused. This book is considered to be historical fiction. The protagonist is Martha Ballard, a midwife in Maine. And the story starts out in about 1789. And the big crime is that it's a murder trial in the small town of Hallowell, Maine. And because Martha Ballard, as a midwife, records everything in a diary, which means whenever there's a death, she records the information. She records information about births. So she has a diary that is entered into evidence, let's say, for the trial. And I bring this up because even though this is a novel, it's historic fiction, it's based on the life of Martha Ballard, real life midwife, and that rhymes. We also have A Midwife's Tale, the life of Martha Ballard based on her diary, 1785 to 1812. It's in our nonfiction collection, 974.16. It was written by Laurel Thatcher Ulrich, who at the time was a professor at UNH in Durham. And this details parts of Martha Ballard's diary. So it's a great companion for the novel. So you can actually see what she has written. She always makes note of the weather, and that you'll see in both books, but she talks about dissections and births and checking on people who are ill or unwell. So it's a wonderful book. Check out both of them, or if you've read Frozen River, make sure to check out Martha Ballard's diary.
Hi, this is Caroline. I'm the head of adult services here at the Goffstown Public Library, and I wanted to talk today about a book that I enjoyed recently. It's by Colum Tobin. I have a hard time pronouncing his name, but it is called Long Island. It is the second book in the Elias Lacy series. The first book was Brooklyn, which was an incredible book. If you haven't read that yet, I suggest you do. But here are two available copies. One is our large print, and then we also have an audiobook available. So different copies of accessibility, and then we would also have the regular print book as well. So I hope you check it out. Thanks.
Hi everyone, it's Molly, the Adult Services Librarian at the Goffstown Public Library. Today I want to share a couple of book recommendations for the spooky season that's coming up. The first is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. So this is great for any historical fiction fans, but we weave in different kind of fantasy themes throughout the way. So this novel will take you from France all around Europe and over to the United States, mostly in New York City and in New Orleans, Louisiana, exploring the life of a woman with a deep, dark secret. So I would highly encourage you consider this if you're looking to add a spooky flair to your historical fiction selections this October. I also have Natural Beauty by Ling Huang. So this is a debut novel by this author, and I learned so much about music reading this book. The main character plays piano, and she ends up taking a job at a store that is considered a holistic cosmetics store, but they use creepy means to harvest the ingredients that they put into their makeup and all of their cosmetics. So I would recommend this book for anyone who's interested in contemporary fiction with a creepy twist. It's beautifully written, and yes, you learn a lot about music along the way as well. So thanks for considering them.
Hi, Natalie here. Today we're going to talk about death and poison, two of my favorite topics, because it is the season for this. So, happy fall, everyone, first of all. And the first book we're going to talk about is Death by Shakespeare. Snake bites, stabbings, and broken hearts. So this book is all about the deaths that occurred in Shakespeare's works. So some of them are based on actual deaths of historical figures. Some of them were completely made up by his twisted, morbid mind, which I love. And one of my favorite Shakespearean deaths is that of Cordelia. And I just happened to open this book to this page when I first took it off the shelf. And it says that there are clear post-mortem differences between strangulation, suffocation, and hanging. Good to know. If Cordelia was garroted, even if it was with the same rope that was then used to hang her, there would be evidence that she had died before being suspended. But they tried to set it up to look like she had taken her own life. But see, they figured it out because of forensics. Fascinating. So this is a very entertaining book, I think. And I'll leave you with a little bit from Macbeth. Fillet of a fenny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog. All right, now we're on to the League of Lady Poisoners. This is a beautiful book. If you notice, the edges are all green. It's very lovely. And this book is all about actual women who poisoned people. One of my favorites is Nanny Doss. This wonderfully innocent-looking little old lady was accused of poisoning up to 11 people. Some of those crimes are still partially unsolved. She was known to add rat poison to their food or coffee. And she confessed to several of the murders. And unfortunately, she was sentenced to imprisonment for life in 1955, though I think she probably deserved it. And then there are amazing illustrations in this book, too, that are really wonderful. So yes, women poison for all sorts of different reasons. Chapter 2 is about women who poisoned for escape and defiance. For some women trapped in dangerous or dire circumstances, poison had represented an unlikely source of hope and a path to freedom. So this is a macabre little book for Halloween that I highly recommend. And happy Halloween, everyone!